Welcome back to Ghost, Aliens and Beyond. On this episode, me and Simon talk about time travel. We also have a guest from US of A who talks about his supernatural dreams plus many other stories. So, grab the popcorn, turn the lights off and prepare to be scared.
Hi all and welcome to another edition of Ghost Aliens Beyond. It's me, your ghost host with the most, Phil, and my alien friend is back. Simon, welcome back.
Hello, yes, I'm an alien. I've officially been autopsied and become an alien officially.
It's fantastic to have you back again, mate. Simon, as I said, is going to be like I Go on His show when we need to help each other. We're going to co-host, what will probably be a lot. But there will be shows when we'll probably be on our own as well. So it's just not our complete commitment to help, be on each other's shows all the time, just to help each other if we really need it. We will be having a guest for this show, hopefully once after me and Simon have talked on our own. Brian from the USA. I'm going to get annoyed with myself. So what we're going to do now is me and Simon are just going to have a quick chat about this idea, what came in my head when I was sitting in the sun at work, working really hard all the time like I always do. So I'm thinking about time travel, Simon. And they were saying time travel is impossible, apparently, to go to the future because the future's not happening. We're living in the present. But I then start thinking outside of the box, thinking, well, how is time travel possible anyway then? Because if we time travel back in time, isn't that then the present? What makes time travel impossible because the future's not happened?
Yeah, you could go into scientific sides and you can go into the theory sides of it, and you could spend how long is this podcast? We could spend hours talking about time travel because yes, there's potentially it could happen. And then there's also a lot of evidence that it will never happen. It's just when something becomes your present, what has just happened is in the past, but it's also in your future. And then it's just mind-boggling with all the stuff you can do.
Quite frankly, it's more easy to understand about aliens and things like supernatural ghosts.
Yeah, the supernatural side can be, you can look at different things, you can see the side of it, whether it's something, a window blowing or a dust flying through a camera. There's possible explanations for stuff, and there's also some that are not explained. But when it comes to time travel, it's just a hodgepodge of anything you can find because there's so many different films that have come out relating to time travel. Like, for example, one of the biggest films of last year, Endgame, that had time travel in it. And it's
even that they couldn't even explain it. They had to make a joke out of it.
Yeah, well, they made a fantastic joke that Back to the Future is a lot of bullshit, which technically it would be because I don't know. If it is possible, we need to go and change this year. We need to kind of like 2020 out of existence, but that would help.
Well, it does make you wonder. 2020. Has someone got rid of something what was bad and it's made other bad things? Like, for example, the killer hornets were meant to be everywhere this year. They've also since disappeared from everywhere. But we then got COVID-19. It just seems like every time it's weird. Everything came out of nowhere. This year is like someone's tinkering with time and making it worse and worse. The more they tinker, the more worse they're making it.
Yeah. It does. It's like the butterfly effect, isn't it? They say if a butterfly flaps its wings in Japan, California gets a tidal wave. It's that theory behind it, but I don't know. I don't think we'll ever know whether time travel is real or not unless you can do it yourself and you can prove yourself to everyone. Because I see where the theory comes in, but if you do change something in the past, that then gets erased from the past. So there's no way of actually physically knowing whether that thing has happened or not, because it's not been documented. Because if you write something in the past from the future, it's going to disappear. Because you will not write it in the future because you've already gone into the past. And it's just confusing.
And obviously, it's a risk as well. If you're from the future, you could accidentally wipe yourself out of existence by changing things in the past. And then that's when the space-time paradox and things don't make sense, as Doctor Who say, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly. Because if you wipe yourself out, how did you time travel back in the first place?
Yeah, it's the basic theory that they're doing Back to the Future. If you stop your conception, which you technically, I'm doing air quotes for the listeners, you won't. If you did wipe out your existence coming, it just surely fade away. But surely, if he's made one simple thing like stopping his mum and dad getting together, he'd instantaneously die because he's not alive or not. He's not been born because the stuff he's just done.
Yeah. What doesn't just affect your
family? I know
family,
it's a film, but it's a different story.
But also, would it not just affect your family and friends and work people? It affects
everyone
everything. Because so everything would change. But time travel, I do think if it is real, would that be the way space travel would be made easier?
Well, I wouldn't say that. I think bending time, not time travel, if that makes sense. Because don't forget, the faster you go, the faster you travel towards the speed of light, time slows down. I think. Or does it speed up?
You're the scientific NASA fan.
I think it speeds up. I can't be 100% certain. I'll have to do a bit more research into it again. But as you get closer to the speed of light, I believe time, whatever it does, it gets faster or slower. Because you could travel to the moon, Jupiter, and it'll take you a month. But travelling at the speed of light. But when you come back, it's gone. It's been 3 years. A bit like Flight of the Navigator.
Yeah.
1983. That theory of he was gone for a couple of days, but when he's come back, he's aged 20 years.
Yeah.
That's the other side of it as well. So I don't know.
You see, obviously, if it is real and there's a time traveller for some reason has picked up on ghost aliens and beyond, me and Simon would both like to know. We would be glad to keep it very secret. And I've just noticed something. We would be glad to keep it very secret from everyone. And
there we go.
Sorry, people. If you don't know, I'm recording this on Zoom and I've got a green screen up, and a bit of my screen went a bit funny. I'm recording this on here because I actually want to show this first part online on YouTube and a few people just to see what they think of the green screen tricks, and if it would be interesting to make this a YouTube show as well. So that's just a bit of testing today. Now, as I was saying, if there is time travelers out there, me and Simon would sign a confidential waiver. We wouldn't give it away. If you just take us to the future and give us the capability, maybe even a watch just to travel, maybe just a year into the future. Because
I just want to travel 2 months, really, just to see whether something's going to happen. But
from now for a year to a year, so every year you've got a year you can travel any time of that year. But my idea is so we can travel, but also it can take us to destinations on the planet Earth. So me and Simon could think, stuff it, it's going to take us 30 seconds to get to Universal Studios Orlando.
Yeah.
That's the plan. So we don't have to pay for flights and everything constantly.
No, that would make things a lot easier and a lot better.
Yeah, so if
you're real, don't want to do all that kind of stuff.
If we're real, we will keep it quiet, and you come and find me and Simon. Just use the secret code word. What will be wibbly wobbly? But it's not really secret because I've just told everyone. Let's let everyone know I've had no supernatural stuff going on at my workplace. What I did allude to on the last podcast, the last one or the one before, pretty much there's more people in now and I'm not on my own, so I think it's more down to that if I'm going to notice it, I'm going to think it's someone else doing it. So if something major happens, I will tell you more. Nothing's really happened in my house since the very first podcast what I told you about. The odd thing in here, I might hear something, my dog might just growl for no reason, but there's explanations for that usually if you look.
Yeah.
So Simon, anything supernatural your side?
Not really. I've had a few glitches with electronics at the moment. Whether it's supernatural, I don't know, but it just seems to be, everything seems to be playing up. Like, i.e. this, what we're recording on now, my camera. I was a lobster man earlier on this morning, and now I'm perfectly normal.
If people's wondering what that's about, that is my YouTube show, Cheap Plug Time, Ramp Football, where we predict football scores. So there was 4 of us on it right now. Simon himself, myself, and Paul and Donna, and we predict Premier League scores, and we try and give it a go on Zoom videos. And I am setting up a new video, what's probably will already been out since this has come out, because this is always going to be, I want to explain to everyone who listen to Ghost Aliens Beyond, if you want a little help, it's usually, I am literally trying all the time to have it out on the 6th of every month. So July 6th, August the 6th, and on and on. If there's going to be a problem, I will put it on Twitter and tell people if there's going to be a date problem. So, get on the Twitter. And while we're on that, Simon, before we get to our guest, would you like to tell everyone your Twitter handles and where to follow you and everything?
Yeah, well, if you're watching this, great. You just look above me. It's the Simon Says podcast, which is my podcast that Phil regularly comes on, and we'll just chat shit, really. Sorry, might have to bleep that. But it's at Simon Says Pod. If you want to follow me, I'm at Simon and Julie on Twitter, which is mine and the missus's Twitter handle, which usually gets mainly Florida stuff that gets put onto that. And I do another podcast with this fine gentleman I'm speaking with right now. It is the Morlando podcast. That one's all about Orlando and stuff around there. We get guests on, but talking about guests, don't be scared of coming on here. If you really do want to come on here, because obviously I've been on here as a guest. I'm now helping out whenever he's needed. We've had all the guests on. It's just an informal chat. That's all it is. It's not bombarding you with questions and why is this happening to you, do that. Just, it's you coming on, telling your story of any aliens, any ghosts, or anything supernatural. Get yourself on, contact the Ghost Aliens and Beyond email or on Twitter. Phil will get
email.
Yeah.
If you want the email, it's ghostaliensandbeyond@gmail.com, literally spelled as I've just said it. Twitter is at Beyond Aliens, because someone stole the Twitter handle
right on the screen right now as you just said that.
Yeah, it always does.
Well,
as you said, come on. We do have other options as well. If you're too worried to actually come on and talk to us, the 2 other options is you can email me on ghostaliensbeyond@gmail.com, and you can just send it in as a story format, and one of us will read it out for you. Also, the other one is we record on the Anchor app. So if you look for Ghost Aliens and Beyond on Anchor, as you can see behind me, if you're watching, you can see the picture. So that's what it looks like. So for the picture, pretty much you can send a voice recording towards me, and I can just add that on myself. So you won't be having a formal chat, but you can just read your story out and be gone. Also, it doesn't have to be your own story. If you have a friend or family member who has told you a story, and it doesn't have to just be ghosts. We're talking. That's why the show is called Ghost Aliens Beyond. Anything supernatural out there what you think would interest us, and it probably would, come on board and have some fun with us on it. As Simon says, you don't need to be scared of us. You only have to be scared of the ghosts and the aliens.
Yeah, we won't bite, except on a Tuesday.
And just my last plug is my show, Ramp Football, as we were talking about earlier. It's on YouTube, and you can catch it, called Ramp Football. It doesn't necessarily show up all the time if you put the word Ramp Football apart, but if you put them together, some reason it shows up more. Don't ask me why. But we're also on Twitter for that show. That is at PDGCFC79. I'm hoping next season to change to a official Twitter just for Ramp Football. So it'll be called Ramp Football. It makes more sense. Also, if you want to come and guest on that, if you're a big soccer fan for our American friends, or football around the world, to everyone else, come aboard. Just email me on rantfootball1@gmail.com. So with all that aside, mate, shall we go ahead and get our guest on?
That sounds like a plan, mate. We'll see you on the other side.
See you on the other side, everyone.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the first part of episode 6 of Ghost, Aliens and Beyond in video form. To listen to the full podcast, Anchor app, and many others. So get on there and don't be too scared. We're waiting for you.
This podcast is part of the After Dark Podcast Network.